Fight fans, fight fans, fight fans. This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I am live once again of the day for the Jaron boots Ennis versus Uisma, Lima. Okay, they will be going live tonight in Philadelphia, and right now we're walking through Smalls and Roman. All right. And I'm just waking up from a nap because that 7 hours did a little bit, in fact. But we are back on the chat. I will let the chat load to see each and every one of you guys just like before. And Dave Allen actually is a guy, man, you got to take your hat off to him still. You know, he did his thing. He did everything that he's supposed to do. He just couldn't close the gap. You know, now we have Lima taking on Jaron Ennis, you know, but this time I think he's at a weight class that we could appreciate 154. Okay. Bryce Productions, counterpunch to you. Bryce Productions in the building. Okay. First on the chat, the early bird gets the worm, people. Okay. I think I just seen something here. Where we at? Okay, cool. All right. Mama Lou, counterpunch to you. Mama Lou in the building. Welcome back. You know, Bryce Production. What's the likelihood of Wilder versus Usyk being Wilder's next fight? Slim and none. Okay. I mean, I just don't see Usyk fighting Wilder. I mean, it's too much going on to the sport of boxing, and I would hate for Usyk to take the seriousness of boxing lightly after Tyson Fury, because Tyson Fury is a guy that, you know, he's expected, or the belts were expected to be unified. And, you know, I mean, there's other challenges after Dubois and Fury. Trust me, there is. Looks like I gave you the first like. I believe you did. Aaron Edson, good evening, Kurt. Counterpunch to you. Aaron Edson in the building. Counterpunch. Counterpunch. We got a 10-rounder, first off, and two boxes. Oh, good left hook from, who's that? Roman. Okay, Roman is in the black and white. Smalls is in green and white. So Wilder versus Usyk would be great because Wilder is the last king. I mean, he's the last former king, I guess, you know, of a certain time frame. You know what I mean? Of the era that's fleeting, because, you know, after AJ Tyson Fury, he's coming back. And I know people like Wilder, AJ, Fury, these guys, they don't really want to come or look like has-beens, but the more the new blood step up, the more they should step back, you know? But yeah, I mean, I don't see Usyk fighting Wilder. I mean, would I want to see it? Of course. I think it would be a huge fight. Ooh, good right hand. Ooh, down goes Roman. He got chin, bro. Smalls caught him with something big. School of 50 in the building. Counterpunch to you. School of 50. Oh, yeah. Uh-oh. Here we go. Here we go. Ooh, good right hand. Oh, that caught him again. That, ooh. Fights with sticks, stones, and bottles in the streets of Philly. Fight with sticks, stones, and bottles in the streets of Philly. Boots and Bud at a catch weight would be one of the few intriguing fights for Bud. Nah, I mean, they don't have to fight at a catch weight big as Jaron Ennis is. He's a big, tall, young dude from Philly. You know, I'm just interested to see how. Oh, he got caught with a left hook. Smalls did. What source do you look for at your info you put into boxing videos? I'm asking so I can look at the source. I mean, Google. Dude, yeah, I napped really well, dude. This girl at 50 said there cheeky chops. Yeah, there we go. Well, dude, he got caught with that shot. He got caught flush. And it's always when you're about to deliver your own blow. Most of the time, when you get caught, right, it's when you're opening up to throw. And that's exactly what happened to him. That's exactly what happened. Oh, Kurt, how much did the fight cost? No, this is live on this is free on the zone with the subscription. I mean, it feels so refreshing when I don't have to come out of my pocket to buy something that's already on the zone. But this is how it's supposed to be, right? This is how it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be, you know, subscription based. That's what the zone was originally for. The pay-per-view killer. You guys remember. Okay, if you don't remember, that's what it's supposed to be. The zone subscription, you pay your $10, $15 or whatever it was or is, and you get the fights. And you don't have to worry about paying 70, 80 bucks or more for a pay-per-view. You got the zone for that. But the problem is the zone messed up because they started promoting El Cinnamon. And El Cinnamon had other plans. He made it to the point, well, no, I want pay-per-view for the United States since they're paying anyway. And I want my country, Mexico, to watch it for free. That's right. So that's what happened with the zone. But the original model with John Skipper was supposed to be pay-per-view is dead. It's old school. It's blockbuster video. It's Hollywood video. It's pay-per-view, right? The zone's supposed to be the Netflix of boxing, of sports, because it was more than boxing on there. You got all types of stuff on the zone. So they were marketing that. And Canelo Alvarez pretty much made them turn back and contradict their own market model. That's what happened with the zone. That's what happened. How much did it cost over there? What are you guys paying? I mean, is it available over there? You guys have to pay pay-per-view on the zone? Because if that's the case, that sucks. This is the one time that over here in the States paid off. But maybe if it was pay-per-view, I probably wouldn't buy it. I probably wouldn't buy it, bro. I mean, it's just Jaron Ennis, is a tough fighter and stuff like that. I'm glad he's at 154 now. We got the Wire Coast star Harvey Dock as the referee. I'm just kidding. He's not from the wire, but I mean, every DC, Maryland, Philly fight, that's who you're going to have, Harvey Doc. He's that East Coast referee that they always hire. Jaron Ennis is in the building, smacking gum like normal, making those jaws nice and strong for those shots that you know eventually he's going to take at some point, you know? So Jaron Boots Ennis is in the building, right? 20 pounds a month is decent. There is cheaper subscriptions. Is the dearest. There is cheaper subscriptions. Rounds 5, Smalls and Roman. Oh, good jab from Roman. Can Wilder beat AJ? I don't know, man. I mean, you take the last Wilder in there event against the last AJ, and I think you need to draw your own conclusion. If I was going to draw it, my own conclusion from the AJ versus Wilder, um, Wilder didn't appear to hit as hard to me. You know, it was almost like he was trying to make a point too. So he was trying his best to throw these shots that he normally throws to get the job done. You know, when you start dealing with messing around with psychedelics, you know, it will do something to you. AJ is not as good anymore. Neither is Wilder. You've seen that trash performance. And if it is anything you're trying to defend for Wilder as far as inactivity, he's not doing himself any good. He's not doing himself any good. Good right to the body by Roman. He's just not. AJ isn't, you know, so, oh, it's free on the zone in New Zealand. Nice. Nice. Marshall, what time is it in New Zealand right now? So, I mean, Wilder needs to fight more. And then I think he's doing that. Oh, yeah, I'm going to fight sometimes next year. Bro, you're supposed to fight 3 times this year. And that just shows you. So it's 2:20 p.m. Sunday. Man, that's crazy, dude. It's 8:19. It's 8:20 here then. Let's put it that way. It's 8:20 p.m. Saturday. So you guys are way ahead, way in the future. Bro, this time tomorrow, like from 2:20, man, I'll be out of church and everything. 2:20? It's crazy. You know? But that's like that Guam time, you know, it's like already Sunday, you know. And I guess depends on where you are in the world. That's what you're doing. Just looked up Wilder versus Usyk, and it says that Wilder wants to fight Usyk in 2026. Is that accurate? Yeah, that's accurate. I mean, he said it. He said he would want to fight Usyk for all the belts or AJ for his next fight early next year. And we'll see. We'll see what that. I don't see that happening. Because what has Wilder done to, you know, well, AJ spot on. I think that fight should happen. I think those two should fight once and for all. And if I'm Wilder though, I'm like, if he started trash talking AJ like he used to, I would say that would convince me that the Wilder of old, mentality wise, is back, demeanor wise is back. But I just don't really see, Joshua and Wilder fighting. You know what I mean? I'd see like Joshua fighting someone like Mark Madoff, since Mark Madoff is beat up on Dave Allen, the White Rhino. I mean, I see that fight happening before I see Deontay Wilder and AJ. You know what I mean? Because Deontay Wilder is a name, though, you really want to sell. You don't want that as a tune-up fight. You still want to make money off of Wilder. You know what I mean? My man Kurt, I hope you're well, big man. Dreeton Zogi, counterpunch to you. I'm good, man. I'm refreshed, actually, because I think I slept for I don't know, 2 hours or so. I did the recap, which it just dropped. So the recap just dropped on Dave Allen, which it should have been out hours ago. But I uploaded it and went to sleep, passed out. Had this crazy dream, man. What did I dream about? I was married to this Brazilian and something happened. I couldn't remember what, I couldn't remember what happened, but I was married to a Brazilian. She was shorter, which I don't normally go for short chicks like that. Like my chick's tall, but I've dated shorter chicks, but I mean, it wasn't a bad, because we won a bunch of money. So it wasn't a bad, Wilder won his last fight, so maybe Usyk will accept to fight Wilder because of that. No, I mean, a tune-up fight that showed nothing, that he fought in the middle of nowhere against a fighter that no one knew. How does that warrant a fight with the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world? And if I was just, okay with that, you know what that meant? That means I'm a hypocrite. That means that I'm okay with Wilder getting an opportunity, right? But I'm against everyone else. No, it should go the way it's supposed to go. Nobody gets free rides in the sport. Nobody's above criticism. Nobody. That's just how it's supposed to be. Usyk's supposed to fight his mandatories. He's the undisputed heavyweight champion of each sanctioning body that he's a champion of. He needs to fight the guy that's number one in that sanctioning body. Period, man. I mean, everyone talks about, you're like, oh man, Usyk deserves that. Well, if Usyk's saying he's injured and but he's not showing us what, and he's not proving that he is injured, he needs to fight. I mean, because everybody, and this is the crazy thing, right? Here's the punchline about this channel. I guess everybody thought this was a pro AJ channel until AJ started doing stuff. And then I started saying things about AJ, and it's like, I'm not just pointing people or picking people to talk bad about. And I guess that's what people thought I was doing. I thought they were just, oh no, AJ was celebrated because AJ was doing the right things. He was fighting his mandatories. He was giving the opportunity to them. Okay. And what is the difference from Usyk? Should Usyk do anything any different? No. Yes, he's been undisputed twice. So what? Has he fought with all the belts intact? No. Lennox Lewis did. Right? AJ was never undisputed. But then again, Lennox Lewis was undisputed with only having 3 belts, but the 3 belts were the only belts available at the time. You know, it was either the WBO, I believe it was. Yeah, it was the WBO that wasn't there. What's this nonsense? Hey, Kurt, what's next for Crawford? Um, that's a good question. I mean, Crawford's the king at 168. He took all the belts from Canelo. When Canelo beat William Skull, he became an undisputed super middleweight champion. So he just got beat by Terrence Crawford. So Terrence Crawford has options. He's not an Usyk. You know what I mean? He didn't promise people that he would campaign up there. He just said, I could beat Canelo at 168 and get his damn belts. And that's exactly what he got. Now, word around the campfire is, Terrence supposed to go to 160. You got Zanabek, you got Lada, good right hand from Smalls. Zanabek, Lada, Adamas. He has options at 160, you know. Wilder must be on ayahuasca again if he thinks he's getting a shot at Usyk. I don't know what warrants that, though. I do know what warrants that. What a beautiful dream, bro. I've been dreaming nightmares, seeing my ex and waking up with cold sweats. I'm jealous of your dream. Damn, dog. What'd she do to you? What'd your ex do to you? Or what did you do to your ex? What did you do to your ex, dude? Link fight. I don't have the link to the fight. It's free on the zone. Well, I know in the United States and New Zealand, it's free to watch. Turn on the zone and it's on. But no, but back to what's next for Crawford, man. I mean, he has options. Those are the things that he can do. Oh, good left hook to the body by Roman, rather, right? Roman. 8 of 10. But no, man, I think Usyk just needs to fight the mandatory, whoever the mandatory is, man. You know, because if he feels that there's no one else worth defending anything with, he just needs to retire. That's all that means. If he doesn't see the value in the belts that he won or he has, he just needs to retire. Simple. Nobody will look at Usyk any different. I mean, he's one of the all-time greats, you know. So it is what it is. Crawford's body is right at 168. I mean, it's his division. It's his division now. Crawford is looking for 4 times undisputed. Why not? Why not? You know, and at this point, you know, you got Lada, which is a very interesting fight with Crawford. You know, you got 2 guys with long arms, great distance ability. They keep distance very well. Crawford more advanced. Crawford is like Lada, but like a souped up version of Lada. Crawford is a souped up version of Ennis Lada. Lada's a guy, he's a good one too. Southpaw, slick. You know, Crawford is everything he has, a switch hitter, you know, slick, mean, you know. Oh, these dudes are swinging now, swinging for the fences. Yeah, man. Terrence Crawford is like Lara's a well, nicely built sedan. Crawford is like a sports version of that same sedan. In other words, Edislandi Lara is a Impala, a 1996 Impala. Terrence Crawford is a 1996. I'm sorry. He's a 1996 Caprice. Crawford is a 1996 Impala Super Sport. I like both Crawford and Lotta. Yeah, but Lotta's old. You know what I mean? And all look, that fight, it's simple to predict. Lotta is slick, so Lotta will stay there a while. You know, until Lotta does something. He'll hit Crawford and hurt him or piss him. And when you hurt him or you get his attention, you're not going to do anything but piss him off. You know, and then at that point, he's just going to kind of overpower Lotta. But, you know, it would be an interesting fight, though. Everybody's seen that Lotta Canelo fight. Canelo never wanted to come back to that, even when Lotta was up, you know. Wilder versus Usyk. If Usyk beats Wilder, Usyk will then have beaten all the kings and will remain the undisputed heavyweight champion. If Wilder wins, it will be the greatest comeback in boxing history. Yeah, if Wilder beats Usyk, bro, yeah, that would be crazy. It would be crazy. I mean, all the belts will be back in America. And here's the crazy thing about that: if Wilder has the power in the right hand, all he needs is one shot. You know, but I just don't see you. If he hit Usyk with a shot, that shot had to be perfect. That got to be that Juan Manuel Marquez versus Manny Pacquiao 2 minutes in the 59th second in the 6th round. That type of shot. He got to land that shot flush. You know, I just don't see Usyk making that type of mistake. Crawford is just a tactician in the ring. Feel you out and find out and dismantle you after a round. I mean, he'll do it. Go to the body. I think his toughest fight is Zanabek. Everybody thinks it's Adames. I think it's Zanabek. Is Marcelo's assisting Wilder versus Usyk because that's the only way he stands a chance? No, I don't think that's the case at all. I don't think those guys get along at all anymore, based on what I was told. You know, I don't think that's the case at all. Wilder needs to sort out his windmill arm if he wants to take on Usyk. Shit, Wilder, man. The thing is, he's lighter. He's lighter than Usyk. You know, he's just taller. Man, I haven't heard from Tay Jones in a minute, bro. Tay Jones just kind of fell out of pocket, you know. And I used to talk to him, here and there. Not a lot, but here and there I used to talk to him. He'll call and basically he would respond through WhatsApp, and then he would hit me up and like, hey man, either what you did or said wasn't this or that, you know what I mean? It was just like, well, shit, sorry. But Tay Jones probably disappeared when the snake oil salesman Malik Abdu took over. I don't know. I mean, I think a lot of the Wilder stuff disappeared after the Fury fight. You know they had that coming though, bro. All that shit they were talking about that and this and that, you know, and a lot of people believed it. A lot of people believed it. A lot of people, I don't know if they believed it. I just think that that was the good narrative. You know, you pick a side and you run with it, stuff like that. But nah, I just think when Wilder got knocked out by Tyson Fury, there was no more or nothing else to really discuss. You know, the Joshua fight was dead because Joshua just got beat by Usyk. So it was Usyk that was undisputed in weight classes that, with the belts that he had. Then Tyson Fury fought Wilder, retained his WBC, and then that was supposed to be the fight that happened. But that's when people really started to understand who Tyson Fury was. Tyson Fury was a guy that chose to fight whoever he chose because he wanted to turn into a Fidel Castro. He thought he was Fidel. So Tyson Fury went from I'll fight anybody in their backyard to when he beat Wilder, you know, but he started acting that way. He started acting that way. He started, you know, I beat Wilder. They made him a statue of him dropping Wilder. And then guess what? He turned into an asshole. He showed his true colors. And guess what? A lot of people helped him. The fans. See, the fans helped him. You know, because they made that victory of Deontay Wilder a fight, by the way, that nobody wanted to see. Nobody wanted to see that shit. Nobody was asking for a trilogy fight against Wilder. Nobody was asking for that. That fight happened due to a lot of underhanded, backstabbing, under the table issues. That's how that happened. But when he knocked out Wilder, it was a good fight though. You know, instant classic, sure, I agree, but no. Crawford and Usyk are the best two fight I have seen in my generation, Kurt. Obviously, you have to mention Mayweather, but I don't like him because he's not humble like those two. Dritten Zogi, he's not a part of this generation either. You know, Floyd Mayweather is from a later generation. He's not, he's not in Crawford's generation. He's not in Usyk's generation. Mayweather's damn near 50 years old. That man fought 10 years ago. His last real fight was 10 years ago. And you can talk about the McGregor fight, but that was a crossover fight, so it really didn't matter because he wasn't. Conor McGregor wasn't a boxer. Conor McGregor's a UFC fighter. He's a good striker because he used to box. That's Conor McGregor's history. He fought Conor McGregor because Conor McGregor could bring in the other platform from the other sport. That's what happened. That's how Mayweather ended up making a lot of money, him and Conor alike. Conor went on a coke binge after the loss, and Floyd Mayweather started fighting more and more exhibitions. Right? That's all that really was. This is a whole different era. You know? People from his era, like Lara was from Floyd's era. He didn't fight him. He didn't fight Keith Thurman from his era, and Keith was a young boy. See, Errol Spence was from another era. We all wanted to see Spence versus Thurman. But Thurman, he flaked out on us with his injuries and all this other stuff. So, no. This generation does not apply to Floyd. Floyd was in another generation, a decade ago. Like he says, he was from another generation, from one era, from another era, from another era. That's how he explained it. But he's been around so long that his reign has stretched through eras of fighters. From the late 90s through the 2000s. This is a whole different era. Hey, Kurt, what do you think about Crawford versus Zanabek? You reckon it will be a good fight? He moving up to 168. No, well, if Zanabek moves to 168, you have to, I mean, hey, it is what it is. If Zanabek wants to come up, so that's just giving all the credit and advantage to Crawford. Zanabek's a middleweight. Imagine Super Snoozle Lenny on a cocaine binge. With a nose like that, he'd sniff the coke and the money out of pockets of everyone within 100 meters. You talk about Leonard Ellerby. Yeah, man. Leonard he got a big ass, strong nose. Mm. He got a big, strong nose, dude. Last question about Usyk and Wilder. Jesus, thank you. If Wilder beats AJ, will Usyk fight Wilder? I mean, I didn't know he was his Avenger. Usyk's beat everyone. Yeah, you lost that, Mr. Roman. Tamir Smalls, winner, 16 wins, no losses, no draws, 11 by KO. Well, hey. Uh-oh, Roman's, he's hurt. He's leaving. Like, dude, I'm out of here, dude. Yeah, that was a highlight reel. He caught him with that right hand. Yeah. I'm really looking forward to Benavidez versus Yard. Yeah, me too, man. Me too. Can't wait for that to jump off. Cannot wait. More than likely, I'll probably be remote. So I'll probably be in a hotel or, probably be in a hotel, dude. If Benavidez moves up the cruiserweight, he's going with the safe option, Zerto. Yeah. I mean, that's the plan. You take the easiest option, you take the easiest belt. That's the easiest option to the belt, man. A lot of times, these guys don't want to do it tough. You know, it is what it is. Roman outlanded Smalls, 4 more punches. He threw almost 100 less, but percentage, Roman 22%, Small 17%. Alexis Bieri versus Guido Vianello. Remember him? He's the guy that put Mark Madoff, the gladiator, right? That makes sense. Rome, Italy, Guido, right? Italian, the gladiator. Will the drums make it to Benavidez versus Yard? Nah, not in a hotel, it won't. Man, I got a cousin, man, supposed to be sending me some congas. And he's sending them from California. And I'm thinking, like, dude, that's been months ago, dude. That's matter of fact, it's been years ago. I was like, yo, I'm sending them, cousin. I was okay. Cool. We'll see. Vamos a ver, muchacho. Vamos a ver. And I don't know, man. It's crazy. Yeah, but I'm looking forward to that fight. The Naked Gun now streaming. Now that's cool. Man, the way they're promoting the Naked Gun, and they make it seem like it's at the theater still. I'm like, damn, wasn't that at the theaters earlier? No, it's streaming. But hey, that's how it's supposed to be. If you want something marketed, if you want people to know about it, Chris Cyborg. Hey, Kurt, for Wilder's next fight, instead of drums, will you get a banjo? No. I'll play a damn banjo. Fucking harmonica and nah. Would have liked to see Benavidez versus Bivol and see where Benavidez is at his skills. Yeah, I mean, but yeah, I just think it's strange that you call out Zerto, in another weight class, but then kind of he didn't dismiss the itinerary of his, time at, or his division or his plans at light heavy, but it was almost like, if you think about it, he made it seem like, well, I'm not really set in stone to fight any of those guys. But I think, I should move up to cruiserweight and fight Zerto because, who does Zerto have to fight? You know damn well who Zerto has to fight. He has to fight the guy that's there, the champs that's already there. You know what I mean? Shit, at least he could keep us busy by shutting us up and fighting Badu Jack. But even after that, he's going to have to fight Jaya Pattaya. So you're talking about, oh, my name is bigger than Jaya Pattaya. Not at cruiserweight, it ain't. No, it ain't. Not at cruiserweight. Hillbillies love banjos, Kurt. And see if he does. Benavidez calling out Zerto is equivalent to Andy calling out Benavidez. Pretty much. It's just some off-the-wall shit that's been orchestrated by Al Heyman because he knows that Zerto is on this side of the pond. Those other guys are not. Well, better be Ev, but, who says that David wants to fight Artur? You keep hearing that shit, but it's hard to believe. It's hard to believe. The way he called out Zerto, you know what I mean? Like, oh, I think, no respect for Jaya Pattaya, he's a good fighter and everything, but, my name's bigger because of the fights I've had, and I think that, I fight Zerto, and I think that's the fight to be made, Mexican versus Mexican, so, he doesn't have anybody else to fight, that type of stuff. And it's like, well, who do you have to fight, David? In your weight class, not cruiserweight. Because, hell, he's already catching hell at 175. What you think he's going to do at cruiserweight? Throw a bunch of shoe shine punches, those little flurries and shit, and it ain't going to hurt nobody. Because they ain't hurting nobody at 175. He ain't knocked anybody out yet at 175. How many fights did he have at 175? He fought Vosnik, wasn't a knockdown of any kind. He fought Morel and got knocked down, and he's fighting Yard. So, I don't see a knockout in that fight. I see a action fight. I see a entertaining fight, an exciting fight, but I don't see a knockout in that fight. This ain't no Mexican monster. This is a guy that came from 165 or 168. That used to be the monster. David Benavidez used to be that dude at 168, not 175. He's a guy that's in his weight class. This is the challenging division because this guy is fighting people his own size. That's all. I'm just waiting to see what happens when he fights somebody with some power. Then if he gets past that, then it's Bivol. Then you can call yourself the GOAT. Then we can worry about cruiserweight. But for him talking about cruiserweight right now is a bad sign because what he's doing is he's not giving you a guarantee that he's going to fight the best at 168, the champions at 168. And Anthony Yard is not that. David Benavidez, and I got respect for David, but what he did, you can pretty much tell. You can pretty much tell what you're doing, bro. We see what you're doing. You're avoiding the champions at the weight class that you're in. You're that email champion guy. You're that guy that has the belt, and because someone else was stripped, that's why you got it. You didn't get it beating no one legitimate. You got it from an email. You were informed that you were the champion, the elevated champion. Once they stripped Bivol because he's Russian. So yeah, they pulled some prejudice shit on Dmitry Bivol. Yeah. Dmitry Bivol got the belt stripped for him. In fact, they've been doing Dmitry Bivol wrong for so long. Let me elaborate. What do you mean by that, Kurt? Well, when Bivol beat the shit out of Canelo, okay? When he beat the shit out of Canelo, they didn't want to pay him. They didn't want to pay him because of what was going on in Russia with the war in the Ukraine. Like that had anything to do with Dmitry Bivol. Does Dmitry Bivol look like the president of Russia? Does he look like a politician? Does he talk politics? No. In short, no. You know, and they didn't pay this man for a long time. Imagine you were voting, you fought, you did your job, and because you were from a particular country, your salary, your fight purse is being held. That's what happened to Dmitry Bivol. Now this shit about the WBC and Mauricio Suleiman having some morals, some scruples. I will not support anyone from Russia to our WBC. And that's not the case. What is the case? The case is, here's the truth of the matter. The truth of the matter is, David Benavidez, being Mexican, being from this side of the town, he can be marketed more, easier. He's more popular because of the call out of Canelo. So he knows that he's linked to Canelo. You know what I mean? So that's who you need to side with. That's who you need to back. That fighter, David Benavidez, he wanted him to have the belt. He was next in line to get the belt. That's why he got the belt. If David Benavidez was a no-name somebody from some other country that made no buzz, that made no noise, that nobody knew, Mauricio wouldn't have done jack shit. I mean, that's what happened. So Dmitry Bivol, have you heard him complain about it? Have you heard him talk about it? No. But it's out there. It's facts. He's just not a complaining guy. He got paid eventually. I mean, Turkey gave him that money for fighting, the Russian bear his damn self, Artur Beterbiev, and he's the only one that beat him, and he's the only one that stayed 2 fights with him. And I doubt David Benavidez is going to be one of those guys. If he fights Artur, David fights Artur, which I don't think that's going to happen. I just don't think that's going to happen. I just don't think it's going to happen, bro. Let's just be real. I just don't think that's going to happen. I think, David, him promoting the idea, him planting the seed of fighting Zerto is his way out of that division without fighting anybody. I want to be wrong. I want to be the one that doubts I hope that doesn't happen. I hope David is about that business. But this is boxing, bro. That's why boxing itself, it's not doing what like the UFC did in way short amount of time. Because those guys are fighting each other and they're fighting for peanuts. These dudes in boxing are getting paid. And then we're still not getting the fights we need. And ain't that some shit? I like David too, but he's becoming what he despises, Canelo Alvarez. But yeah, he's finding out this is about money. He's finding out it's a business. And to stay in this business, you better be about it. 13 and 11 KOs, 3 losses, 1 draw for Vianello. Barriere is 12-0, no losses, no draws with 10 KOs. Well, this is going to be a good fight, bro. Barriere is undefeated and with 10 KOs. Vianello has 3 losses, but tough losses, right? 11 KOs, 13 wins. Hmm. I don't think Benavidez would respect David's power. No, he's going, man, listen, Skrilla. If that fight happens, it would, and the only way it would happen as if Artur looked very bad in his last fight. Like if he's fighting on the undercard, if he looks bad, people are going to report he didn't look as good. Maybe age is catching up with him. Father Time is knocking at the door of Artur Beterbiev. If that's the narrative that's being thrown out there, they may go for it, because then it will be kind of well, that's a safer bet. Now, if Artur goes out there and crushes whoever the hell he's in there with and takes them out 4 or 5 rounds, they just can't handle the power. And and it's not a Bivol, it's not a guy that has wicked, crazy footwork and defense and shit like that, and he's just able to beat you up and bust you up. You know what I mean? Hit you with these short ass hooks, these mid-range punches that feel like he's got range from here to here, and he's only here to here, but he's hitting you here to here, and it feels like he's punching from back here. It feels like the leverage. That's what people say about Artur. He's so damn strong that he's hitting you with shots just like this. You see these shots? Those are mostly on the inside. Those are punches. Those are those mauling ass punches from Artur Beterbiev, just like this. You know what I mean? Just like this. That's Artur Beterbiev. And he takes his time. He'll jab and get in. But once he's mid-range, he's going to drill your ass with those mid-range shots, and they will bust you up. Look at Bivol in the first fight. Look at Bivol in the first fight. Bivol's face started to come apart. Hell, his face came apart in the second fight. When you got somebody that punches so freaking hard, people, that your gloves, your guard, he's punching right through that. Your guard don't mean it. Your guard is only taking up about 40%, maybe 50% of the punches that are getting thrown at you. You're still taking 45 to 55% damage from Artur, even when you got your guard up, because he's punching through the damn guard. And God forbids some of those shots go through the glove. Yeah, that's how he hurts people. See, Artur Beterbiev stops people that's never been stopped. Look what he did to Callum Smith. Callum Smith ain't never been stopped. Callum Smith fucked around and found out. He found out that Artur is a guy that, yeah, he can box, but his demeanor is to maul you. He's not going to sit there and try to jab. No, he's going to get you. You're going to make him mad, and he's just going to press the gas and start throwing those mid-range power shots. And his power shots are hurting you. They're breaking you down. If you're tough, look at Anthony Yard. Anthony Yard, he ain't been stopped. Well, yeah, yes, Kovalev stopped him, but Kovalev, he ran it. That was a gas play. That was a stamina issue, because Tunde thought that, hey, it's time to press the gas and try to get him out of there. If he would have done that in the 12th round, he would have been better off, but he didn't have any more gas left. So Kovalev got him. Why do you think he left out like they did, like on a jab? Sir Marcus Brown got his ass kicked versus, but yeah, everybody did except Bivol. And Bivol got beat too. He just beat Bivol first. And nobody's done that. Man, look. David Benavidez talking that shit going to cruiserweight is exactly what the plan is. Watch and learn. Watch and learn. You know what I mean? Because I'm like, bro, you just think, well, I'm at 175. Why am I talking about cruiserweight? Think about that for a minute. Why the hell am I mentioning cruiserweight when I'm the light heavyweight champion? Why am I mentioning that? I'm mentioning that to plant the seed. I want people familiar with what I've already said. I want people to think about the idea, okay? The comparison, of being Zerto. And Zerto ain't a hard fight for David. David can he can beat Zerto because Zerto's slow. He's durable, I think, but he's slow. He's big and he's slow. Does he have power? He's all right. He couldn't beat Dorticos. Why couldn't he beat Dorticos? Like, drop him, stop him. He don't have the power up there like that. So no, bro, I just don't. You know, no. Maybe Benavidez believes Zerto is weaker than Beterbiev. Yeah, he knows that. You don't. You know, look. Here's the thing about Zerto. Zerto ran to cruiserweight because there was nobody there. You know what I mean? Or he thought that he could hide there because there's not enough demand for cruiserweights. Okay, cruiserweight fights are not in demand. It's a weight class that it's a trainer's weight class. It's someplace you go before you go somewhere else. Okay, it's supposed to be what the made up Bridger weight shit is, which is stupid, right? 225 pounds. That's a heavyweight, bro. Stop. Dude, what the hell, bro? This Bier dude is crazy. He's look, bro, that's crazy. Dude, Villanelo's a big dude, though, bro. He's massive, man. No, that's Villanello. I would love to see Benavidez versus Bivol. You know, not before I see Artur. And the reason I say that is because I want to see that fight because I don't think Artur is I don't think he's done, and I don't think David can handle him. And the reason for Artur, he's older though. You know, that waiting game shit works for a lot of people because and you know what they do? They just stall the fight and stall it, 6 months to a year, then another half a year, then another whole year. Then you got 2 years. Then you're like, oh, okay, shit. Then, where does that put Artur? You push that shit late 26, Artur is 41, damn near 42 years old. He's right at 42. So fighting him at 42 versus 40, yeah, you don't want that shit. You don't want that smoke. I'm sorry, 42, yeah, he'll be 43. Yeah, Bivol would beat Benavidez. I mean, he look what'll happen with that. It'll be a firefight. It'll be like Sugar Shane Mosley fighting Oscar De La Hoya. That's the type of fight you would have because you would have a lot of punches thrown, a lot of punches landed, a lot of flurries, a lot of combinations, a lot of back and forth, a lot of interaction. I mean, we would have a treat as people that like to see action, But here's the deal: I want to see knockouts. That's why I like Artur. Artur Beterbiev gives you knockouts. His last 2 fights, he was fighting one of the best fighters of this generation, Dmitry Bivol. I think he's like number 3 pound for pound best fighter. Why wouldn't he be? So, yeah, but no, bro, sincerely, either are lost both fights to Bivol. Beterbiev? Nah, he didn't lose the first one. Bivol lost the second, in my opinion. That's your opinion. My opinion, Bivol lost the first fight, and I'm going to tell you why he did. He lost the first fight because in the championship rounds, he started slacking. Who the hell have you known Bivol to slack? You don't know Bivol to slack. He throws punches. He wasn't throwing punches against Artur because he knew if he kept throwing punches at Artur, he'd have got caught with something that would have took him down. And then he would have really been, you know what I mean? We would have saw who that is. He knew he was in trouble. He got hurt by Artur. But who don't get hurt by Artur, let alone survive? Nobody else. So, no, I give Dmitry credit. He just didn't win the first fight. He won the second. He didn't win the first. Because the rounds 11 and 12, he gave away trying to survive because he got hit with shots that he knew, like, whoa, if I keep getting hit with these fucking things, I'm going to be on the canvas looking crazy. And he knew that. So he knew that. Bivol knew that. Like, dude, I'm not going in there and going toe-to-toe with this dude. Nah. You better use your power. You better, your speed, your agility, your footwork. You better use that shit. You better keep moving. but don't stop fighting. Like, don't run or move without throwing punches. And Bivol made sure he didn't do that. Sir, please review the first fight and just count rounds. You can change your mind. No, I seen that fight. And here's the thing. You may give rounds to rounds I give Artur, because mostly that fight was like this. Bivol was landing good counters, good combinations at times for probably half the round, most rounds. But then Artur would give him probably a 15 to 25 second battering each of those rounds. It would be a part in damn near 8 out of 4 of those rounds where Artur gave Bivol a battering around the ring. Bivol threw shots, but those punches were just constantly coming. And it was just lulls of time that Bivol didn't throw a lot. He did well the first of the round, but then the second part of that round, here comes Artur getting down, throwing shots, hammers, power shots, power shots. I knew he's good, man. It's just, I don't know. I mean, I don't want to take nothing away from Anui, but like, I don't think Bivol gets enough credit for what he's done. He redeemed himself. He got all the belts. And, you know, on top of that, he was fighting other, good left hand from Barriere. He was, this is like a grizzly bear taking on a polar bear. These guys, you know, I forget how big the Gladiator is. Would you say Bivol is third best pound for pound fighter after Crawford and Usyk? Yep. I would say that. I just think, you know, he doesn't get respect. And then he's going to get even less now because Crawford beat Canelo. What sticks out about Bivol is, sure, he beat Beterbiev, but he first beat Canelo. And this is when that Canelo was supposed to have been that Canelo guy. You know, he was that no one can beat Canelo. So he's so good that he's moving up to light heavy because there's nobody to really challenge him at 168. He's the king. He said, don't start that link shit. I ain't clicking no links nowhere. No thanks. I'm still missing 7,000 coins that they were stolen from my phone, bro. Had to erase everything out of my damn phone. I had notes and things like that, videos, you know, things for work. Shit had to be erased. It was bad. But no, man, that work. Ooh, good right hook. Ooh, straight left. Nice. Guido ate that, bro. Dude, it's a countering type fight. You know, straight right for straight left. You know, who gets the shot? Who gets the backhand in faster? They both are better than Allen and Markmadov. Yeah. Nah, man, we're not going to do that, man. We're not going to compare Bivol and Beterbiev to guys like Allen. That's a fanfare fight, bro. That's like, it's a fight from two guys that are not at the top, you know, that are fighting, that want fights to guys that used to be at the top. Dude, Barriere's good, man. He's good. He's smaller, but he knows how to use his size. And this is a game fight so far. Only through 3 rounds. And this is the guy that gave Efe Ajagba and the guy that knocked out the Russian Bear Makhmadov. This is this guy right here. Had Makhmadov's face looking like he'd been in a train wreck. Yeah, he has 8 losses. And then you heard Dave Allen. He was like, dude, I mean, I'm just not good enough. I've seen 8 times and no, I'm not. I mean, he's right. He's not good enough. He's not acting like he's the best. But I think that's what makes people like him. He's not. He's an average Joe versus, he's just an average Joe that's likable. I mean, he obviously, Fisher, he was chinny. You know what I mean? And if you're chinny, and Dave Allen can hit, but he's not the hardest puncher. He's not a big unit like Villanello. Villanello, bro, took out Makhmadov. Oh, good counter from Barriere. And see if Vanello loses to Barriere, which I don't know. I mean, this is a good fight. Barriere's countering a lot better with his shots. He's smaller and he's getting them off shorter. He's going up the middle. But yeah, Benavidez, man, he needs to show people. But see, here's the thing. If he's going to do that, fine. Fine. If he's going to do that, fine. But don't blow smoke up our asses talking about, I'm going to fight. It's going to be one fight Bibble and all that. No, bro, if you're going to cruiserweight, you're going to stay there. You're going to stay there long enough for the monsters to go to sleep. That's it. That's it. I like Allen. He acts as a good man. He's a good man. He's not a prick. Dave Allen's a good dude, bro. Makhmadov's not bad either. He's Canadian. He's Russian. So he's a good dude. We'll go to overhand right. Uh-oh. Villanello comes out, bro. Villanello came out aggressive. Ooh, good left hook, right hook. He's trying to knock Barriere out. Oh, that was a slip. Both want to kick ass. Ooh, good body shot from Villanello. Ooh, good left hook from Villanello. The Barriere took it, bro. He's durable. Good jab. And see, I know they've told him, like, hey, dude, you got to take it to this guy. He's undefeated. He's shit. Well, he's 12-0 with 10 knockouts. But I think this is a step up from Barriere, though. Guido's definitely been in there with the stiffer competition, And, I mean, this is a hard business. Good right hand from Villanello, bro. Now I can see why he beat Makhmadov. He's more durable. He's just as big, Ooh, good left from Barriere. Or Barriere, is it? Oh. Good right, left. Right. Oh, yeah, Villanello. He's trying to maul him, bro. He's trying to maul him, and Barriere's trying to smother it. Because he's on ropes. Uh-oh. Ooh, good left hook from Barriere. Right uppercut from Villanello. Left hook from Villanello. He clipped him with a left hook. Ooh, good left from Barriere. Ooh. Look at the left side of Barriere's face. Barriere, that's his name, right? Oh. Guido got him. Left, right, left to the body. Right upstairs. Right uppercut. Overhand right. Oh, down he went. Damn, he almost weathered the storm. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Oh, see, like I told you, it's a step up. It's a step up. When Vianello came out there, does he want it? Does he want it? 17 seconds. Will he last? Boom, right hand. Right hand. Oh, straight left. Did he get saved by the bell? Yep, got saved by the bell. Ooh. Vianello is a big boy, man. Now you see why he did that against Markmadov. He mauled Markmadov. Markmadov thought he was the only person that can maul. He thought he was the only bear there. Polar bear fighting a grizzly bear. Grizzly bear got more fight in him. Yeah, Vio's a beast, bro. Oh, yeah. I mean, that's just a barrage of punches, bro. That he just was like, you know what? Let me go ahead and take a knee. And that's Jaron Sugar Hill's fighter. Yeah, I mean, that's the type of fighters Vianello needs to get in there with Moses. You know what I mean? That's the type of fighter. Oh, good right, left. Oof. Oh, knocked him out. Yeah, he's done. 2. Look, he's knocked out. He ain't getting up. Look at him. 6, 7, 8. No. It's over. Vianello, he caught this ball with a straight right. The way he landed and hit the ground, he hit the ground harder than the punch hit him. He hit the ground harder than the punch hit him. Knockout, bro. He wasn't getting up. That's a KO. That's what you call a KO. That's a big boy right there. And he took some shots. That shit wasn't easy for Vio. For Vio. Let's call him Vio, innit? Let's call him Vio. The gladiator. Aren't you entertained? Aren't you entertained? He's better than Ergovic. Yeah. I would, you know what? Put him in there with Ergovic. Put Guido in there with Philippe. Put him in there with Philippe. That would be a fight. Because see, Philippe can take shots like that. Let's see if he can take Vio's punch. Look, he's still on the ground. Ding him. Get this man some oxygen. Get this man. Oh, whoa. They picked him up too fast. He went back down to the ground. Ooh. Bro, this is a brutal sport. Yeah, give this man some oxygen. Give this man some oxygen. Please. That's his first professional fight. Watch. Straight right. Boom. Left hook. Boom. Right. Boom. Okay. He turns him. Look at that right hand. Ooh, that right did it. And boom. You know what would have been worse? The ropes caught his head from snapping back. If his head would have hit, because the ropes is what saved him from hitting one of those laptop computer monitors back there. Because they got monitors set up right outside the ring. And you can tell the photographer's on the other side. Look where he lands. It's a monitor down there. You got a monitor right where he was at. Because he landed backwards. Yeah. The Toma should have been tested, his mic versus Frank Sanchez. He should have, but they pulled him back. It was a good move, man. Don't put that boy in there with those kind of guys, because all you're going to do, the more you hype somebody up, you know what I mean? And I don't think Moses has bitch in him. I think Moses will take those fights, but it's up to them to make the fights for him, to guide his career. So putting him in there with Frank Sanchez, it is what it is. Oh, man. Dude, he got red, bro. That was a knockout, bro. That's a big unit right there. Vianello was a big unit. It's crazy. You know what I'm saying? We got Ortiz versus Lubin coming the 8th of November. So we got fights. There's a fight on November 1st. Mark Madoff should fight another slowest juggernaut. That's a good man. Good knockout, bro. Good knockout. The Gladiator. He even got the Gladiator haircut, like Russell Crowe. To get fast track to Usyk, you can't fight soup cans. Yeah, you can't, and he shouldn't. But guess what? Guess what, people? If they take you out of if they take Moses out of a Frank Sanchez fight, is it fair for us not to ever hear about Moses versus Usyk again? Isn't it fair? Why are we talking about that? There's no reason to even talk about that any longer. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear any shit about, Moses versus Usyk. No. Why? The shit on all these fighters that are already there. You got guys like Villanello. Hell, he's more worthy than Moses. You know what I mean? This is who we should be fighting. You ain't been tested guys that can take shots and give them back. This is who we should be in there with, the Mark Madoffs, the Villanellos. That's who Moses should be in there with. In fact, Moses should have been in there with the guy that's 12-0 with 10 knockouts. Now he has 1 loss to Villanello, right? Guido. Yeah. So, I mean, fast track, why would you fast track anybody that steps out of fights? He's not taking the steps. Don't pick his ass up and put him on the top of the stairs. He ain't walked the steps, so why are we cheating? You know? Don't cheat yourself, treat yourself. So don't cheat Moses Atoma. Treat Moses Atoma. You know? So whoever they put him in there with next is where he needs to be. I promise you. Whoever they put him in there with next is where he wants and needs to be. You know what I mean? That's where they want to put him. Look at that cheesy ass Continental belt.
You're landing some big shots early on. He was counterpunching you a little bit early in the fight. What kind of adjustments did you have to make as this fight went forward?
Ooh. Ooh.
You came out in the 4th round of this fight really aggressive. You went after him from the opening bell. What were your mind as you came out of that round?
That's a big dude, though, bro. He's been calling out Joshua. "31, he's young." So he called out AJ. Mark Madoff called out AJ. Everybody wants AJ. Everybody wants that payday. Why not? Everybody wants that payday. So it is what it is. Dave Allen versus Deontay Wilder can still happen, possibly. Probably. I mean, if Wilder sees him, probably Wilder might be sitting around, sitting back. You know what? I can take him. You know what? I knock him out. Mark Madoff, he's sloppy. I'm straight. He needed straight punches. Yeah, them greenbacks, bro. Everybody calling out AJ. Why? They know that money's there. Yeah, Guido, bro. He gave Barriera ass whooping. He's all because he had to press the gas, bro. He's in fourth gear. He had to go into fifth gear. In fifth round. Look at that. Right, left, right, jab, right hand. Boom, over with. Now he's a star. He's going to always be a star as long as he fights. Yeah, Guido, he's been calling out AJ. So, yeah, man. Landed 34, Barriere, and Barriere was countering. He was a smaller guy in there, and he was countering. Yeah, man. AJ fighting Vianello. I mean, you don't know that, man. These fights, man, you can't go in half cocked. Yeah. Uisma, Lima. Falar português. Guido should fight Caballo. Yeah, but I mean, if he wants a big fight, but AJ for millions versus maybe a couple 100,000 for Caballo fight, which Guido's good and he's big, but I just don't see. Listen, Caballo is not your average everyday run-of-the-mill motherfucker. He's just not. He's not who you think he is. He's not that dude. Caballo. Nah. You know what I see? How that fight ends? Guido down on one knee. Because what's going to happen, we've learned that from the Zhang fight. It would be a good fight because Guido's going to come to fight. Anybody that knows and asks for a fight like that's been held back a minute, that has not or felt they haven't got the opportunities that most fighters have got, like a Moses Atoma and all this shit, those British fighters, because, Guido's an Italian fighter. You know what I mean? Joseph Parker ain't been getting what he felt he deserved. He's from New Zealand, right? Or Australia, whichever one. It ain't Britain. It ain't the UK. So when those fighters get to that point and they finally get what they're asking for, they're going to fight with a certain intensity. Well, that's how they should be fighting. And, but yeah, Caballo's a machine. Nolan, Rosenberg, come on. Caballo is a savage with those body shots, bro. Yeah, because see, by now, if you notice something about Caballo, he throws those soft punches to throw you off. Because not every shot's going to be hard. If he throws 5 punches, you may have one with some stank on it. But understand the punch placement to the body, he knows exactly where to land to put you down. Look what he did to Zhang. He made Zhang quit. Zhang turned away from that shot, and then he just beat Zhang up to the body. Now, to be fair, Guido's not a Zhang. Guido's younger. He's just as big, but, I don't see anything less. Because, see, Guido's a kind of guy that, And he's not as technical as Zhang. Guido's not. So we have to look at who he's in there with. Guido's going to be in there to try to overpower Caballo. Caballo's going to box, move, work the body, right? Have to deal with shots that, Caballo's going to be throwing, and he's going to land those shots. And hey, yeah, put him in there with him. But I want people to get paid. I want people to get what they're asking for some of the time. Not David Benavidez. Because David, who he's asking for, some bullshit. Some bullshit. So you want somebody that's going to fight the best, and because they're the best, you know what I mean? And they're the best because they beat the best. Who is Zerto beat? Who is Zerto beat to show that he's anything? He lost to Bivol. And what happened after that? He left light heavyweight, didn't he? He went to cruiserweight. Now he's this big, chunky dude at cruiserweight. He's this big, chunky ass dude at cruiserweight. That is a fusion reactor, Kurt. Zhang has put down every big name he's fought. True. Caballo destroyed Zhang. Fuse lag. Like an anti-craft missile. Yeah, the ring, that's going to be tight, bro. The ring 4, Night of the Champions. That's going to be hot, bro. Benavidez and Yard, Haney and Norman, Rodriguez and Martinez. It's going to be a sick night of fights. But what Eddie talking about? Show me the money, Eddie.
Earlier in the day, now Alexis falls to Guido the other. But sometimes he's got a couple good fights out of this. That's the key. You give the opportunities. I want to see a heavyweight fight in every go. I was gutted for Alexis there, but I love the fight. I mean, the place went crazy. You see 2 big guys going at it. And it's okay. One moves on. One takes a step back, just like Dave Allen. You could Dave Allen tonight. 9,000 in the Sheffield Arena. He'd become even more of a hero in defeat. Might take you on the challenge while Sam McMurdo. You come back, you get a good win, you go again. And that's the same for Alexis Pereira, You roll the dice at 13-0. Sometimes you get to come unstuck. Well, there's something about watching the big boys go to war. I want to see more of it in 2026.
Well, we heard Guido throw down the gauntlets that he wants anti-Joshua. That's the Roman Coliseum. That's kind of like as a venue. I know you're working on some stuff for AJ headed into 2026, including perhaps a showdown with Tyson Fury. It seems like the door is open for that. Where do things stand there?
Yeah, I mean, look, we're talking to His Excellency, the zone about making that fight. We're outside, we're in for that fight. It's more about the plan leading up to it. We need 1 fight, at least, maybe even 2. We only do 2 if we run out this year, which is a small possibility. But you've got Guido, you've got McMurdo. Every heavyweight in the world calls out anti-Joshua. Biggest name in the sport still, whether you like it or not. He's ready. He's got fire in his eye. 2026. The final chapter or so. And for me, let's make it Tyson Fury like biggest fight of the world.
Well, Roman Coliseum sounds good to me if you want to make that.
He can book it out sweet as well.
All over that. All right, Boots Ennis make his debut at 154 pounds. A lot of anticipation for that as you have to do a fight with Uisma Lima. You get guys down here in Philly for a while, including Jack Catterall. What are you hearing?
So, I like this boxing Grand Coyote. Michael Fuller, that is a fusion reactor. What's a fusion reactor? Uisma Lima is basically a tune-up for Ennis. Oh, yeah. As I stated before, Guido is a decent fighter, but Caballero beats the spaghetti out of Guido. Yeah, man, look, hey, and then it'll be like something like, hey, if you get past, if all you got to do is beat Caballero, and then you'll get AJ. That's how you do that. That's how people end up getting beat. A lot of people supposed to fought Caballero and ended up that's the last time they fought. You know what I mean? And it happens. It happens. But yeah, Ennis versus Lima. It's tonight. It's going to happen right now. As washed as AJ is now, Mark Madoff still probably does not beat AJ. Damn. I see a lot of wrestling in that fight, bro. You seen what Dave had to put up with. Dave Allen had to put up with somebody that was hitting, getting off, smothering, wrestling. You know, he was making it hard for Dave because thought he's gonna come for me. He's gonna give me the perfect opportunity to land my shots, and that's that. But that didn't happen. Bigger guy, awkward. Yeah, hey, I got it wrong. You know. But hey, I want people to understand that like Jaron Boots Ennis fighting Stadionis, yeah, that was a good fight. It was a good decision. It was a good performance. Allen almost KO'd Mark Madoff. I mean, yeah, but he just, a fusion reactor, a nuclear reactor that is still under design. It's different from the existing nuclear fission reactor in that it's simulate the fusion energy of the sun where, okay, cool. Nice. Michael Fuller. Yeah, that's very sophisticated stuff. He was saved by the bell or grappling. Yeah, he was grappling Dave Allen. Standing on is a Lithuanian beast. Yeah, he got beat though. Okay, let's get this show on the road. AKA Reyes, the zone boxing analyst, Emily Austin. Okay. You know, a lot of people are going with that, like that tattooing and shit. I just can't get behind it. I mean, well, I can't personally do it myself anyway, because I mean, the minute I do some permanent looking shit like that, somebody's gonna call me to double somebody like Forrest and Black Panther 3 or some shit, and then I'm gonna be sitting there with a damn tattoo on my head. Hell no. I don't have tattoos anyway, so I'm not a tattoo guy. I'm just looking at AK Reyes, and he has that the whole tattoo line, 5 o'clock shadow shit going on. Caballero is a German hitman. Yeah, but I still want to see Boots get his head whooped. I don't know, man. You don't know nothing about Lima. You don't know anything about this kid. You know what I mean? This kid might be textbook all wrong for Boots Ennis. 32 years of age, 1 loss, 10 KOs, 14 wins, no draws, compared to 34 wins, 30 KOs, no losses, no draws for Boots Ennis. 5'8" to 5'10". 4 years age difference, 153.4 for Boots Ennis, 153 on the scale for Lima. So this is what you have, man. 1 loss. Let me tell you about somebody that lost only once. You either learn from the first loss and you vow never to get beat again. You took that first loss hard. So, or you just keep getting beat again and again. We'll see if that's Lima. But I'm going to tell you this first. If this fight is close, I don't see Lima winning a decision. I mean, this is a hometown fight. These are one of these fights that Lima has to knock out Jaron Ennis twice to win. Crawford would or should take Ennis to school. I mean, listen, this type of fight here, that type of fight should have happened if it was going to happen. It didn't happen. But it's good, though, man. Boots, he's still undefeated. He's still an undefeated fighter. He signed with Eddie. He's getting paid. He needs to fight Virgil Ortiz next. He needs to fight Virgil. Crawford would shoot. Ennis has done nothing to deserve a Crawford fight. Here comes Uisma, Lima. The thermal energy from fusion reactors and fission reactors are intended for thermal energy conversion to electricity. Okay. Scott McQuillan. Ennis can carry Bud's bags if he's lucky. That'd be a hell of a fight, though. I mean, Terrence is the man, and when Terrence back in 2000, was it 2013? I have Virgil winning against that Benedict Arnold, aka Boots. I mean, he's just going to have to show it. That's going to be the fight. That's Oscar's boy. Nah, I ain't winning the decision. Not here. Not in Philadelphia, he ain't. What are you, crazy? Hell of a fight. How about hell no? Bud would beat the laces out of Boots. That's funny, though. Before he beat Canelo, we didn't have a lot of people saying, actually, the Boots would be a pretty good fight. He couldn't beat Madrimov. Well, then Madrimov, And in Madrimov, what people don't understand, Madrimov, he fought the type of fight against Crawford that allowed him to survive. And the very next fight he lost as well. He lost to Virgil Ortiz. You know what I mean? That jerky, herky-ass style he fought, and he had to fight Crawford like that because he knew the minute he does that, the minute he sits down and starts trying to trade with Crawford, he's going to get his ass in trouble. That's why he kept moving. This guy is not going to beat Boots boxing. He has to fight him. In order for Lima to win this fight, he has to either knock out or stop Boots. In other words, Boots' cookout credentials are pulled until further notice. Imagine Moth shit himself running from Ortiz. Boots Ennis in the building, people. You know, it's crazy. It's crazy. It's like a fight like this. Ennis should be a bigger star, man. We should have bigger fights than this. You know. Yeah, it looks like I'm gonna have to have another meeting with YouTube. What is YouTube doing, Kurt? I mean, they just don't send notifications out. They don't send them out. They don't notify people that you're live. They don't, they ain't did that for years. The last meeting I had with them, they're like, "Oh, we don't have anything different, nothing wrong with your channel," and like they give you the stats of the people that's actually that hit the notification bell. And when I told them like, "Hey, there's people not getting notifications," and they responded like, "Oh, well, if they have any problems," they sent me this link, whatever the link was. I forgot what it was because you know, looks like that I have to send the link, and I have to, I'll probably put it on the post. But then here's the thing. It's a lot of subscribers that are dormant and don't know when I'm posting out content. It's almost as though not necessarily a shadow ban, but it's just almost like, because that's what I thought. But because then you'd be like, okay, this video did really good, and this one, no one's seen. And you get sick of that shit. So yeah, you're gonna have another talk with them because imagine a channel with 100,000 subscribers, almost right at 93, coming into 94,000 subscribers. You look at that and you're like, well, damn. Uh, when I had 40,000 subscribers, every video was from 5 to 10,000 views. So you can't tell me that twice as many subscribers you know what I mean? You're supposed to get twice as more in theory, right? So yeah, it's just a bunch of bullshit, So Eddie Hearn is shitting the bed with his choices of American fighters: Boots and pie crust hands, shaky Stevenson. Boots knows he has lost a lot of fans pulling that Canelo camp crap. Don't come to the cookout. You are not selling out. Unfortunately, they may want you cooning. Nah, I mean, I don't. Nah, I mean, I don't. I don't know. I mean, just I don't know. Crawford would be just too smart for Ennis. He would fight Ennis. He just, I lost money on Canelo too. It's crazy. How are you even supposed to beat someone who fights in both styles, switches stances, southpaw to orthodox? You punch them straight up the middle. That's what you do. You punch them straight up the middle. That's how you do that. I didn't know that Crawford is inevitable, like the thing from John Carpenter's movie. You lost money on Canelo because of what the great Roger Mayweather said. Yeah. I don't know but shit about boxing, man. I mean, I tried to tell him. I don't know shit about boxing. It's crazy, man. I think what did Roger have? Diabetes or some shit like that? Yeah, diabetes, bro. Decline in health and complications from diabetes. He was 58. It's fucking crazy. Diabetes is no joke, man. And the crazy thing is, it's like when you're dealing with those type of illnesses, it's you diabetes is a thing where yeah, it's real. Sugar is everyone's enemy. Sugar, and your body's not breaking down enough. Your body's not breaking down what it needs. Your liver's in disarray. You know, you need citrus and exercise and what I mean, life change. You need life change. Because your body is not doing what it's supposed to do when it was younger. Your body's creating a lot of insulin. And it's just yeah, diabetes is. My grandmother died of diabetes. And so yeah, it's a real thing. Dementia is diabetes of the brain. Jay Roos in the building. Count a bunch to you, my brother. Crawford is almost impossible to beat. They just got to wait you out. Wait you out, wait your turn. Nah, I mean, Parker said he'll fight Toma. And I'm like, all right. Everybody believed in Canelo and he was looking all shitty in each and every fight. Canelo didn't look great. He looked like he did just enough to beat those guys, Jaime and Belonga. And I'm like, and Ryder. So you had Ryder, Belonga, Jaime Mugia. I mean, he didn't look good in those fights. Parker knocked Atoma down in sparring, I hear. Really? All right, so the fight has begun. Maybe they slowed down with trying to force a Toma in with Usyk. Maybe, but I mean, he didn't fight Frank, so it is what it is. It's good, Kirk. Does Lima have a shot? Nah. I never seen Lima fight. I mean, he doesn't look like he can't fight, but it's just, know, and he's a southpaw, so. And look, I look down at the phone. I wake up. I look up. There's a there's a knockdown. Lima down already. Damn, it's crazy. Oh shit, he's gonna blast out Lima, bro. He's gonna blast Lima out. Look, Lima's already down the second time. Damn, Lima's like, what was that? I mean, hey, if you can get him out early, do it. You got a minute and 14 left. It's over. It's done. He stopped. It's over. This shit's crazy. Over. Done. No, bro. The main event's over. It's over. Jay Roos is over. 20 minutes, my ass is over. Yeah, Boots hurt him, and he was like, you know what? Let me stop this dude. Let me stop this dude. Let me give him his second loss of his career. I'm in front of my hometown. Yeah, that's how you come back. Yeah, it's over. He tasted that power. This is at 154. Yeah. I mean, if you can take somebody out, take them out. If you can take somebody out, take them out. Take them out. Take them out. Doom, 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 doom. Boots needs a Campbell soup sponsorship with all the soup cans he's crushing. It's crazy. It's crazy. Say Boots is evil. Yeah. Yeah, man. It's crazy stuff. It's over. Let's go, champ. Let's go, champ. You all right, champ? Let's go, champ. Look at that. Oh yeah. He wasn't ready. He wasn't ready. I don't know who his level of competition was. Boom. That's it. Oh, the right uppercut. Oh, the right uppercut did it. He didn't see that shot. Yeah, he didn't see that shot. Straight left and a right. And then see someone that can switch hit like that. He was just turning stances, getting more leverage on those shots. Dude, that dude didn't even know who he was, man. Lima didn't even know where the hell he was at. He was just, dude, I'm somewhere. I don't know what's happening, man. I'm just, I don't know. It was just here, man. He just kept swinging, man. I don't know, dude. I don't know what happened. Like, what? I'm on the ground. I'm just trying to get up, man. He caught me with something, man. I don't know what it was. Oh man, Boots move up and get spanked by Crawford. That's what happens when you cherry picking on extra easy tune-up fights like this with Lima. Look at him beating the shit out of that poor kid. The kid didn't have a chance. Look at him. He landed one left. He in. Bow. Got one of them in. I got my lick in though. Oh man, Boots. Oh, Jerome fast, Javante Boots Ennis. Jaron fast, Javante. I expected more from Lima. Yeah, it is what it is, man. I mean, I didn't know who Lima was. I never seen him fight. That's gonna be a quiet ass dressing room, boy. That's gonna be a quiet flight back to Portugal, boy. That's crazy. You better talk about that money that you got. 200,000, whatever they gave him, 75, maybe 300,000. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know what he got. Let's try to look up the fight purse, see if it gives us anything. What was Jaron Boots Ennis's fight purse?
Jaron Boots Ennis is an American professional. American professional usually refers to
Ennis versus shut up. Ennis versus Boots. No, Ennis versus Boots, moron. Boots versus Lima fight purses. Let's see.
Boots Ennis is expected to make considerably more money than Lima. Ennis's higher profile means he'll get a bigger share. For example, in one fight, Ennis earned around $2.5 million, while his opponent received $1.8 million.
Okay, you're not telling me anything. I don't know. Puss in Boots. What do you do for those who paid to watch the fight money wasted, basically? You don't get your money back. You never get your money back. It doesn't happen that way. You don't get your money. Smoked him like an imported Cuban cigar. True. Facts. Lima is going back to driving trash trucks now with a big fat ass check. He got everything. I don't know what happened. He hits me with uppercut and Te vai para la ruha. Sta foto ti vai para ruha. The foto ti vai para ruha. Boom. Over. 154, the division will see how good Boots is. Here we go.
There are wins and there are statements. And you just made a pretty big statement with your very first fight in 154-pound division. What did you think of that performance? That was a very tough guy you had in front of you. One loss on his resume, never been knocked out. Career-long guy at 154 and above. Did you surprise yourself with how strong you were in the ring? No, I already knew. I feel like the more I go, the stronger I'm going to get. And I was fighting at 47 all my whole professional career. And when I was there, I was fighting at 41. So I was that small for a long time. So it was probably just like time to go. There wasn't a lot of action in this fight, but walk me through that first knockdown, which seemed to set the tone for the rest of the fight. What were you looking for, and what did you land in that sequence? Just listen to my team, stay minded, stay concentrated, relax. My pinky started jumping back a little bit, so let me touch his hook to the body and chop him on top with it, and then that was the first knockdown. What were you seeing from him out there? How was he trying to engage with you? I think he was trying to be smart and not fight like how he usually fight. Because he didn't want to get caught early, but I was still caught early. People say it's only 7 pounds, but going up this weight, how much of a difference did you feel in the ring? I felt way different. You're in a fight week. I felt phenomenal. You know how you be having your last day of training, and you don't feel like going up it. I actually felt like training. I was like jubilated, like excited. Yeah. When he went down.
Yeah, because you're fighting at the wrong weight class, chum.
Yeah, I knew he was hurt. Like I said, I fell over, so I knew it was hurt. But yeah. How much, you've heard a lot over the last few months, didn't want this fight, didn't want that fight. How much of a message did you want to send in this fight? I sent a big message. I know what time I know what next. Take, top, gun, shot. Y'all know next. We'll get into that then now. The next guy, there are 4 champions out there.
Who's that?
The biggest fight at junior middleweight is between 2 guys that aren't full title holders yet, and that is you against Virgil Ortiz. We didn't see that fight happen at 147 pounds. Does it need to happen next?
It's going to happen next. I know you guys like the ready for the next fight. And, if you don't win, I'll fight Lima. I'll fight the winner of that. I'll go Virgil Ortiz next. If we can't get Virgil Ortiz next, I heard that baby Cub was calling me out to Charlo. He can get it next.
Nice. Nice.
What's his name? He can get it. 154 can get it. Zero can get it. Anybody on 154, I'm about to take it. This is my division. 154 is mine. I'm on tour.
Yeah.
You didn't want the fight against it. You wanted another fight before you never.
That's next. Too much talking. That's next. That's in the end, though. Congratulations, folks. Appreciate it. Thank you. Appreciate everybody coming out. Appreciate Philly. The Tri-State area. Appreciate all y'all. Coming out supporting. We at war tonight. Make sure y'all come on out. I want to thank God for this victory. I want to thank my mom, my dad, my team, my brothers, the whole squad, man. I appreciate y'all coming on. Show y'all up. Big fights next. Everybody everywhere.
Looking forward to that. Hey, you wanted to see something special from this man. You got it with a first round knockout.
Listen, it's already out. Me telling you, you got to see it. You saw it tonight. Up at 154, this guy's been fighting at 50-60% of his capacity. I'm telling you now, he's 28 years of age. This is the future of the sport of boxing. This is a pound for pound number one in the weighting. There is nobody at 54, 60, and dare I say 168 who could beat this guy. We're coming for everybody. One man included. We've got to earn that right. And I'm telling you now, Oscar De La Hoya tweeted before this fight, there's only one man at 154. Line him up and he'll piece him up. Virgil Ortiz will get destroyed by Jaron Ennis. I will bet the house on him with Oscar De La Hoya. It's the best fight in boxing in America. It's a beautiful fight. He's a great fighter. But this guy is another level. I'm telling you, you've got 8-10 years of greatness from this guy. He lives alive. There is nobody like him in boxing. He's going to go up. Anyone, Ortiz, Mercelaya, Fundora, Abu, Zayas, he will destroy them. Bring them all. He will 154 is mine. It's mine. He'll destroy them or we'll move to 60 and go all the way to 68. The proof will be in the pudding. Sign the contract. We all sat in a room, we agreed to it. He signed his contract to fight Virgil Ortiz. Virgil, he's losing. We'll be there. We're ready. Let's give America a great fight boxing, and you ain't got a home. Because this guy is going to destroy everybody.
I assume, I'll give you the last word, Boots. I assume you agree with everything your promoter said.
Most definitely, let's bring them on. They said I was doing this and doing that. Well, I'm here now. They say, see what's the here. I'm the chimney.
Okay. He wants to smoke in the chimney.
Boots says Virgil Ortiz, early 2026.
There it is, people. Boots Ennis is there. His promoter, Eddie Hearn, did his job. He promoted what Jaron Boots Ennis, what Boots Ennis is about, what he can do, what his plans are, who can get it, future fights, and listen, it is what it is. Brandon Adams versus Boots next. Virgil Ortiz about to take it out. Hey, man, these are the type of fights you need, though. Because Virgil Ortiz is no small fry. He's also a guy that's, growing. 2 undefeated fighters. You know what I mean? Lima, who the hell was he anyway? I never heard of Lima. I just know he's from Portugal. He had an accent. Wow, smacked him in round 1. It was over with. He blasted his kid out, made a short night and a big-ass check. Love it. It'd be good to be Boots Ennis right now. You know what I mean? Because, listen, you got to discipline yourself, though, man. You know what I mean? It's just, and here's the crazy thing. At 154, he's doing that. That showed he was in the wrong weight class in the first place. He should have left 154 last year when he fought Karen. Remember that? So, no. Good win, impressive statement from Boots Ennis. Let's see what he's going to do. Let's see if the big fights come through because, what we don't want from Boots Ennis are too many examples of him not getting the fights that we are promised from his promoter and other people. And if they don't happen, at what point should you be blaming, and who should you be blaming, and who is at fault? See, if Boots Ennis is not at fault, that's what we need to know so we can clear his name. You know, your star power is all about who you want versus who you try to fight. So if nobody fights you, in fact, if they don't want to fight you, your stock rises. Why? Because there has to be a reason they don't want to fight you. You know what I mean? If you were that easy for fighters, they would fight you. Look at Dave Allen and Mark Madoff. You see how fast it was for that fight to get made? That fight, he wanted it in. Just like that, it happened. It wasn't a bunch of back and forth and, non-transparency. And, it wasn't any of that. You didn't have any issues. You didn't have any, what's the word? Ego. Didn't have any of that. They fought and the fight's done. That's how it should be. There's something about Boots, man. I'm watching all his future fights. Well, guess what? Conrad Francis, we got another star in the sport. He needs to start doing what he needs to do. He has a good promoter because Eddie's promoting him well, which is a good thing. But Eddie said something, hey, he signed his portion of the contract. So that shows legitimacy of the claim that he wanted to fight Virgil Ortiz versus the other way around, because the word around the campfire was simple. He didn't want that fight. He didn't want that smoke. So there was things like that was happening. I like Eddie, but he's foolish. Yeah, most promoters are. Most promoters are. Fundora has the WBC. Who has the Ring magazine at 154? That's a good question. Fundora has the WBC. You got Charlo. You got Mulataliev. Remember him? So you got a lot of fights, man. It's a lot of people at 154. It's just when I feel that Terrence Crawford, when he was there, he was only there for a short time. And when he left, I think the light left with him because the possibility of these fights, Tim Tszyu, got injured and quit. And, so he's out. Who else? Mulataliev stopped him. Fundora is still there. Charlo, where the hell is he? He called out Charlo, Jermel. Boachuk, he just got defeated, so, you have a lot of fights. You have fights that are on the horizon, so, yeah. And what's happening, I think, hopefully we can get back to other weight classes that are actually trying to make the biggest fights, and I think we've become spoiled lately with the biggest fights happening. So, he stops Charlo. He might. Do you think Fundora ducked Thurman? I don't know. I mean, I know Thurman needs to see me. Keith Thurman, people tell Keith Thurman to call me, inbox me, so we can talk. I mean, no cap. I'm not trying to make fun of Keith. It's just he needs to call Kurt. Not impressed. That was fixed. Wow. Hey, Kurt, I know it's early, Fundora versus Boots, but who you taking? Why? I mean, I got Boots beating him. I had Tim beating him in the first fight. No, I don't think that was fixed, bro. That will hurt Boots versus solid champ at 154. Yeah, I mean, Boots needs to fight somebody like that. I mean, it would be something to see, and Fundora is not a Lima, though. So, I mean, these fights supposed to happen, I don't see him getting the Charlo fight. Bulataliev is a problem that nobody wants. True. Marlon, that is so true. When you're talking about fighters, Mulataliev is the I get Kabayel of the division, of the 154-pound division. You know what I mean? He is that dude. He's that guy that don't nobody want to fuck with. They know what they did. Well, Tim Tszyu, poor bastard. Tim Tszyu was beat in a bloody fight. Then he got knocked out by Mulataliev. He didn't know. He didn't know who he was dealing with. Tim Tszyu just wanted to fight everybody that could fight him. And he showed that. But then I think he was damaged because, see, sometimes you can take these fights that you're really not ready for. You know, so it is what it is. She's pretty. That's a hell of a comparison, Kurt. Yeah. He is the I get Kabayel of the 154-pound division. Did you see him call him out? Did you hear Boots call out Mulataliev? No. Nope. You did not. You did not hear that. You ain't gonna hear that type of shit. Mulataliev. Them cats, man, over there, they don't play that shit. Them countries like that, man, they focus on hitting that one shot. I believe Tim will come back. He has a new team. He shouldn't have had the old one. These sons of bitches let you leak blood for 4. Nah, man, I don't even want to talk about that. But Tim, yeah. And I talk bad about Tim because he quit. He quit in that damn fight. Fondora just fucking wouldn't let up, dude. Fondora would not let up. So, but no, man, I mean, I definitely want to see it. The zone is worldwide, you know what I mean? And this is what you want. This is what you need in boxing. I mean, you need these big fights. Let's make them happen. Let's make these fights happen. So, hey, man, had a good time, man. I enjoyed it for what it's worth. Shit, it was over in less than a minute. So, Boots Ennis is showing that, hey, he's still undefeated. That's the reason why he's undefeated. He's tough, he's durable, he's fast, he's quick, he's talented. But how good is he really? That's what we need to see. We need that ideal. I mean, the 147-pound division, I think he stayed a little bit too long, but he did fight Stanionis. So Stanionis is by far his best win. And I don't think people give him enough credit for beating Stanionis. Okay, Stanionis is a guy that was undefeated himself. Beast. But no, he couldn't deal with that. So there you go. We've had a full night, a full day and night and morning for some of you guys in boxing. Of course, I'll have the reflection video tomorrow. We'll go live for that, maybe about 2:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. Enough people will be up and alert and out and about at that time. Yeah, but Ennis, man, he did a good job. Eddie's, chose him, promotes him. He's actually being a promoter. That's what promoters do. They talk about his future in the sport of boxing. They talk him up. They hype him up. And let's see if we can beat him up. But man, this is a good time of boxing, man. What else do we have? Next fight we have to look at is who? Joseph Parker versus Fabio Wardley. And that's the talk of the time right now. And see, here's the weird thing, guys. Here's the weird thing. Okay. I believe Tim will come back. Let's see. What do we have here? What do we have here? That's Dave Allen. Okay. The Parker fight is pay per view. I don't think it's pay per view. It shouldn't be. That shouldn't be pay per view, bro. Fabio Wardley pay per view. Nah, that shouldn't be pay per view. No, that shouldn't be pay per view, man. You know, dude, he yeah, he beat that boy up quick. And see, he knew he was discombobulated because he was just like he didn't know where it was at. And then when you get to that point, it's time to stop it because somebody could get hurt. And the referee did a good job, good stoppage because there was no sense. You've been down twice like that. There's no sense of getting hit and hurt again. You know what I mean? Spare this kid. You know what I mean? You don't know about this fight with sticks, stones, and bottles in the streets of Philly type of lifestyle. He doesn't know anything about that. He doesn't know anything about that. So, I mean, it is what it is. When talking about, competition and its levels to this, people have to know. Sometimes people, like they say, they fuck around and find out, and Lima found out. He found out, lad. Absolutely. No. But man, it's been a grinding day. It's been a grind time. Shit, I mean, it's been an early night of boxing, man. Like, I'm kind of up. I could work on some content, but hey, I mean, if nobody knows I'm alive, or live, should I say, I wonder what Oscar De La Hoya has to say about this. You know what I mean? Boots Ennis, he fought a Lima. He's like a Lima. He's like that animal. Baby, he's like that animal. He didn't come to fight. He came to lay down. They gave him a check. Edward Hearn. You're a pussy, Edward Hearn. Yeah, man, it's crazy. It's crazy. So, but guys, I tell you, it's been a great time. I've enjoyed it. I hope you guys enjoyed it as well. Reflections video coming at you. Canelo impression. I am coming for you, my friend. Canelo's waiting, and I don't know. I haven't heard anything from Canelo. I couldn't do nothing. It was nothing. We know he was. I mean, he is a great fighter, and everything was a problem. Everything was a problem. He was good, great fighter, Crawford. Yeah. You have any movies coming up, Kurt? Yeah, spinoff to Yellowstone. Had an audition, pretty good audition the other day for a movie called Ken with Matthew McConaughey and Woody Harrelson. Yeah, Woody Harrelson. Explaining the Crawford fight. Yeah, so yeah, but no, I'll start later this month. After after a much deserved vacay. So, I'll get to work after that. You know what I mean? And I'll be tied up for November or December, but I'll be abroad. I'll still be making content, but I'll be remotely. You know how that goes. You guys know when I'm on location, when I'm doing my thing, okay, where the hell is Kurt? Somewhere in Texas or wherever, right? So, but one guy, Lima, he gets a payday. And a lesson. So, hey, baby. So, boom. Good stuff. David Tua, a beast. Yeah, David Tua is a beast. He's still a beast to this day. Yeah, put him in there with Shannon the Cannon. Let's go, champ. Shannon the Cannon. I wonder why Shannon the Cannon never fought David Tua. You know, there's fights that didn't happen, and you wonder, like, why didn't these fights happen? You know, and like David Tua and Shannon the Cannon, you know, they're about the same age. Shannon's like, what, 54? David Tua's like 52, 53? David Tua's 53. He's 53 years old. How old is Shannon the Cannon? Shannon McCannon, no. How old is Shannon Briggs? Jesus. Wait a minute. Shannon Beam. No, Bream. She's died. Bream, whoever she is. He's 53. He was born in 71. Shannon would have got KO'd. Yeah, I mean, Tua would have probably hit him with something. Because all he has to do is land. Tua's he just got that power. He just got that power, man. You know, Cannon, you know, Shannon, you know. I know he spoke up Ike Ibeabuchi, but I mean, that's an easy fight for anybody. Especially, you know, Shannon Cannon's in shape. Yeah, I'm in shape. Shannon would be asleep. Yeah, David Tua, man, he's a dude like that. Yeah, Tua can take a shot too. You know, dude like that will come. Don't let him hit you. Do not let David Tua hit you. So many people have. I mean, so many people have fought David Tua and thought, man, I got this shit. This dude's slouchy. He's kind of slothful in a sense. But once he throws and he hits you, it's all it takes. Shannon Sin was suspect. It's crazy. Tua would smash Shannon. Tua also has the chin. Hey, man. Good fight, though. Good fights. Good fights. I mean, that's those, I guess that's the legendary league, right? So, you know, the older fighters get it on. But David Tua is something different, man. He could make a comeback, like a legitimate one, because, I mean, he may be old or whatever, but, you know, I would give him a better chance than Ike Ibeabuchi. I'm just being real. Ike Ibeabuchi's been out of the ring too long. His timing's off. Bro, he's not conditioned for this shit. You know what I mean? Yeah, Tua ate Lennox's best shots all night long, Scott. Shit. That's the problem. I hate that shit. I don't like that fight. How many times have you seen me watch David Tua versus Lennox Lewis? I ain't seen that shit in over 20 years, and that's how it's going to stay, probably. Because I don't want to see Lennox Lewis pepper David Tua. I'm a David Tua fan. You know, guys know I wasn't a fan of Lennox Lewis like that. I didn't like Lennox. Lennox don't like me. That's okay. I don't like Lennox Lewis. I didn't like I just didn't like him. I don't like him. I got respect for him, but I just don't like him. I don't. What flaws do you see in Boots Ennis' boxing skills? I mean, it's hard to tell. You know, I think when he moves up in opposition, we'll see. We'll see what he can't do versus what other fighters that are higher on the food chain can do to Boots. Then we'll know. Because these guys like Lima, we never heard of them. You know, the rookie mistakes, keeping your head straight up in the air, getting caught like that. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Yeah, man, Ike Ibeabuchi, man. I mean, I want to see him. I want to see Ike Ibeabuchi somebody should just pay him and let him be a trainer. I don't want to see him get hurt, and I don't want to see him lose. I don't want to see him lose. I think he was throwing wide shots. Crawford will counter him. Maybe. You know what I mean? Because from March 20th, 1999 to August 23rd, 2025, that's a long time. Bro, that's a long time. Dude, you know, you shit, man. You could have had a child in 99. That child would have been 26 years old. Well, yeah, 25. Crazy, crazy stuff. Ike was slow as molasses in his comeback fight. Crawford too good. Hey man, they're both good, so we'll see. But Boots Ennis is it's his night. First round knockout. Guy we don't know. That's the issue. Can he do it with better opposition? We'll see. I mean, he did it with Stanionis, so we'll see. You know what I mean? And he surprised me in that fight. So he may be onto something. He looked stronger. He looked like he said, he felt great, but I think he's at a weight class that he can deal with. So, you guys, hey, I'm gonna jump off of here. Reflection video tomorrow. More content coming at you. God bless all of you. Enjoy your Saturday night/Sunday morning, and until next time, everyone has been counterpunched.